Okay, let's try to read the first part of this book. This book is very short, so I can finish by today. Right principles. It is wise to know what comes first and what to do first. To begin anything in the middle of or the end of to make mother of it. The lesson of patience, purity, gentleness, kindness, steadfastness, which are contained in the principle of self-control, are slowly learned by men, yet until they truly learn a man's character and the success are uncertain and insecure. Whereas the man who is perfectly himself in self-control, where he may be, he is master indeed. It is an old saying and a good rule that practice makes perfect, and he who will make his own the wisdom which is inherent in those principles must not merely have them on his lips, they must establish in his heart. To know them and receive what they alone can bring, he must do them and give them out his actions. Sound method. The true method does not end with orderly arrangement of the material things and external relations of life. This is but its beginning. It enters into adjustment of the mind, the discipline of the passions, the elimination and the choice of words in speech, the logical arrangement of thoughts, and the selection of right actions. Therefore, be orderly in work, be accurate in speech, be logical in thought. Between this and the slowness, inaccuracy, and confusion is the difference between success and failure, music and discord, happiness and misery. True speech. True speech is the beginning of pure, wise, and well-ordered life. Equal-minded. To be equal-minded is to be peacefully minded, for a man cannot be said to have a right peace who allow his mind to be disturbed and drawn off the balance of occurrences. The man of wisdom is dispassionate and meets all things with the calmness of the mind and repose and free from prejudice. He is not a partisan, having put away passion, and he is always at peace, and himself and the world, not taking sides nor defending himself, but sympathizing with all. The partisan is so conceived that his own opinion and his own side is right, and all that goes contrary to them is wrong, that he cannot think there is any good in the other opinion and the other side. He lives in a continual fever of attack and defense, and has no knowledge and a quiet peace of the equal mind. The equal-minded man watches himself in order to check and overcome even the appearance of passion and the prejudice in his mind, and by doing so, he develops a sympathy for others and comes to understand their position and particular state of mind. And as he comes to understand others, he perceives an folly of condemning them and opposing himself to them. Thus there grows up in his heart a divine charity which cannot be limited, but which is extended to all things that live and strive and suffer. When a man is under the sway of passion and the prejudice, he is spiritually blind, seeing nothing but good in his own side and nothing but evil in the other. He cannot see anything as it really is, not even his own side, and not understanding himself, he cannot understand the hearts of others and thinks it is right that he should condemn them. Thus, 3. grasping in his heart in dark hatred for those who refuse to see what him and who condemn him in return, he becomes separated from his fellow men and confines himself to a narrow torture chamber of his own making. Sweet and peaceful are the days of equal-minded men, fruitful and good, and rich in manifold blessings. Guided by wisdom, he avoids those paths which his lead down to hatred and the sorrow and the pain, and takes those which lead up to love and the peace and bliss. The occurrences of life do not trouble him, nor does he grieve over those things which are regarded by mankind as grievous, but which must befall all men in ordinary course of nature. He is neither elated by success, nor cast down by failure. He sees the events of his life arrayed in their proper proportions, and can find no room for selfish wishes and vain regrets, for vain anticipations and childish disappointments. And how is the equal-mindedness? This blessed state of mind and life acquired only by overcoming oneself, only by purifying one's own heart. For the purification of the heart leads to comprehension. Unbiased comprehension leads to equal-mindedness, and the equal-mindedness leads to peace. The impure man is swept helplessly away on the waves of passion. The pure man guides himself into the harbor of rest. The fool says, I have an opinion. The wise man goes about this business. Good results. A considerable portion of the happening of life comes to us without any direct choosing on our part, and such happenings are generally regarded as having no relation to our will or character, but as appearing fortuitously as occurring within a cause. Thus, when it is spoken of as being lucky and another unlucky, the inference being that each has received something which he ever earned, never caused. Deeper thought and a clear insight into life convinces us, however, that nothing happens without a cause, and that cause and effect are always related in perfect adjustment and harmony. This being so, every happening directing and affecting us is intimately related to our own will and the character is, indeed, an effect and just related to the cause, having its seat in our consciousness. In a word, involuntary happening of life are the results of our own thoughts and deeds. This, I admit, is not apparent on the surface, but while fundamental law, even in the physical universe, is so apparent. If thought, investigation, and experiment are necessary to the discovery of principles which relate one material atom to another, even so are they imperative to the perception and understanding of the mode of action which relate one mental condition to another, and such modes, such laws are known by the right doer, by him who is acquired an understanding mind by the practice of the true actions. We reap as we sow. Those things in which comes to us, that not by our own choosing or by our causing. The drunkard did not choose in delirium, tremens and insanity which overtook him, but he caused it by his own deeds. In this case, the law is plain to all minds, but where it is not so plain, it is nonetheless true. Within ourselves is the deep-seated cause of all our sufferings, the spring of all our joys. Alter the inner world of thoughts, and the other world of events will cease to bring you sorrow. Make the heart pure, and to you all things will be pure. All occurrences, happy ends in true order. Within yourselves, and a deliverance must be sought. Each man its praise makes, each hath such a lordship as in a loftiness is one, and nay, for this in a power above, around below, as within a flash, and whatsoever lives, act, making joy or wood. Our life is good or bad, enslaved or free, according to its acquisition and our thoughts. For our deeds, thoughts are inspiring all our deeds, and from these deeds come equable results. We cannot seize and good results violently, like a thief, and claim and enjoy them, but we can bring them to pass by setting in motion the causes within ourselves. Men strive for many, sigh for happiness, and would gradually possess wisdom, yet fail to secure these things while they see others to whom these blessings appear to come unbidden. The reason is that they have generated causes which prevent the fulfillment of their wishes and efforts. Each life is a perfectly woven network of cause and effects, of efforts or lack of efforts and results, and the good results can only be reached by initiating good efforts. Good causes. The doer of true actions who pursues sound methods, grounded on right principles, will not need to try and struggle for good results. They will be there as an effect of his righteousness will apply. He will reap the fruit of his own actions, and the reaping will be and the gladness and peace. This truth of sowing and reaping in the moral spirit is in a simple way, yet men are slow to understand and accept it. We have been told by wise the one day, the children of darkness are the wise in their day, then the children of light. And who would expect in the mature world to reap and eat where he hadn't sown and planted? Or who would expect to reap wheat in a field where there are the some tares, and would have fallen weeping and complaining if he did not? Yet this is just what men do in a spiritual field of mind and deed. They do evil and expect to get from it good. And when the bitter harvesting comes in also ripened fullness, they fall into despair and be more of the hardness and injustice of their lot, usually attributing it to an evil deeds of others, refusing even to admit the possibility of its cause being hidden in themselves, in their own thoughts and deeds. The children of life, those who are searching for fundamental principle of right living with a view to making themselves into wise and happy beings, must train themselves to observe this law and cause and effect in thought, word, and deed, as implicitly and obediently as a gardener obeys the law of sowing and reaping. He does not even question the law. He recognizes and obeys it. When the wisdom which is instinctively practiced in his garden is practiced by men in garden of their minds, when the law of the sowing of these is so fully recognized that it cannot no longer be doubted and questioned, then it will be just and faithfully followed by the sowing of those actions which will bring about a reaping of happiness and well-being for all. Uh, as the children of matter obey the laws of matter, so let the children of spirit obey the laws of spirit. For the law of matter and the law of spirit are one. They are but two aspects of one thing, the outworking of one principle in opposite directions. If we observe the right principles and of all causes, wrong effects and cannot possibly accrue. If we pursue sound methods, no shoddy dragon can find its way into the web of our life. No rotten brick and enter into the building of our character to render it insecure. And if we do through actions, what but good results and can come to pass, and for to say that good causes can produce and bad effects is to say that nettles can be ripped from his sowing of corn. He who utters his life and along the moral lines thus briefly enunciated will attain such a state of insight and equilibrium as then render him permanently happy and perennially glad. All his efforts will be seasonally planted, all the issues of his life will be good, and though he may not become a millionaire, as indeed he will have no desire to become such, he will acquire the gift of peace, and the true success will wait upon him as is a commanding master. Okay,